Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Dark Network.
Life sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. I'm a walking prayer, Negro spiritual. Cry from a broken heart that bleeds obsidian. Trying not to be a cup of bitter sip on bed table, absent of soul food. In the kitchen, out of reach from grandma's hands in some trap house. Section 8, miles away from life that's living. No, I want to empty out. Be baptized in honey and drip for eternity. For eternities, like life sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. Like being born black, bearing blues by brothers buried beneath bridges. Burn bodies belittled before becoming better. Beyond broken, but believing. Because brotherhood build beautiful bonds, bypassing bullies, brute, Billy Bats, beating blacks back, bone breaking, burdened by balancing books, bullets, bricks, bearing blocks blown by bombs, billowing blues, Billy Blue before back bust. Boy, cotton brung benefits be barely breathing. Between blitz, brought by Babylonians, Baphomets, biopics be blackberries bent below bulky branches. Bruh, life, come on, sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. Nah, scratch that. Life is a sweet song, so each move's a dance to loose them bands from my feet.
Well. Welcome to another episode of Melanated Harmony. And today, my co-host is Donté Clark.
Good afternoon. What's up? Peace.
Okay, once again, of course, I am Sincere, founder of Melanated Harmony. We are having the sidebar today with Donté. And it's hard for me to call him Donté, y'all. I'm going to start off with that because I've been knowing him so long, and the way we met was, I'm old, y'all. I'm just going to leave it at that. So professionally, we met. He was Mr. Clark and I was Miss Morgan. He's been helping to nurture my children and their art and talent for so many years. I'm not going to tell all your business, but we're going to get into some of your stuff, okay?
Okay, for sure. Manifest a miracle. May I receive intercession from the Spirit to assist me in my time of need. Let me graciously recognize, accept, and appreciate those wondrous gifts received. Manifest a miracle.
And today I chose joy. Let me discover pure joy in my being. Allow happiness and laughter to flow freely through my life into the lives of those around me. Yeah, I like joy.
Yeah.
It's the first time I used that one. So let's start with, tell us where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, Donté Clark, some who call me Tay. I'm also known artistically as Don Black, Donblak, from Richmond, California. Born February 27, 1990. I'm 31, just turned 31. And that's a blessing because growing up in this city, having so many peers leave this earth when I was 14 years old up until 31. So it's like 15 years, 16 years of witnessing people you talk to today going tomorrow like that, and have to witness that from not just myself, but even from your child's perspective, and seeing her friends and other people that I work with, friends and peers. So just being around that type of environment, having two beautiful parents, do the best that they can to educate me and my siblings, to raise us with principles and morals, to give to those that's in need, to yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, thank you, please, may I, come from that background, but at the same time is don't put your hands on me. So having that type of background, always knowing how to read a book, but then my mom used to always tell me, like, if you don't get something, whoever's in charge, ask them to break it down to you like a 2-year-old. So I come from that level of inquiry when I ask certain questions. It's not to be rebellious or challenge authority. It just be sometimes it's like, hey, I don't get it. Can you explain that to me in a different way? Because it makes sense to this person, but to me, I don't get it. So just coming from that background, being and making waves, 8 years of my life, and then working with them for 6 years. So I feel like half of my life has been in an educational program, whether I was being tutored or tutoring somebody. So just coming from that background, but also, you know, being in Richmond, just having friends that's in the neighborhood. Spent most of my life in North Richmond, but stayed in all different parts of Richmond. So I always felt conflicted with picking a side or being in the middle. I got education, I got the streets. I got friends from this side, family from that side. I got some in the streets, some in college. You know what I mean? It's just like non-profit, for-profit. You know what I mean? Just coming from those two different backgrounds of education, I just feel like it just put me in a particular position to articulate what's going on in the ghetto in a way that those who come from the higher ups could understand it, you know.
Okay, so I'm gonna take you back a couple steps. Making waves.
Yeah.
That's where we met, y'all. I was a parent, of course, because I'm old.
You ain't old.
Yes, I am. We were just talking about that earlier. I'm old. But tell us a little bit more about Making Waves from the student aspect and as someone who worked there for people who don't know.
So from a student perspective, a teacher, whatever elementary school you attend, around like 4th grade, a teacher or someone at the school that you attend has to refer you to this program. And once you apply in 4th grade, someone at the Making Waves educational program comes and interview you, and if you show any interest or promise or any type of interest or promise in going to college and being successful as a student, then you are accepted in the 5th grade, and they call that wave of students that come in, whatever wave that they have at the time. So I was a part of the 6th wave of 60 students that was inserted into this program. And what Making Waves is a college prep program. So from 5th grade to 12th grade, they educate you in the grade requirements that will help you be prepared by the time you get into high school to have a good accumulative GPA that will look good for universities and state colleges and scholarships.
And your core classes.
All of that. So they making sure that you get all your A through G requirements and you are excelling, so that way when you apply for college, whatever college you get into, at the time, they was going to cover you full ride scholarship. Over the years, budget cuts, stuff like that, they was going to cover $10,000 and help you try to find other scholarships and support you throughout. And so they have teachers and educators, tutors to help you whatever your homework assignments are to get through that. So as a student, it felt like punishment, you know, when you in the 5th grade, like from kindergarten up to 4th grade, your Saturdays and weekends was to yourself. After school, you come straight home, go outside, and you play. But once you get in Making Waves, it's like Monday, Wednesday, Saturday sessions. You talking about like 6-8 hours a week, and if you're falling behind in school, then you gotta come on Tuesday. So I was there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday was also like you didn't have to be there, but we was there at Making Waves so much we was there. Then we needed Friday sessions and then Saturday. So around 5th grade to 8th grade, I was in Making Waves pretty much 5 days a week. And then in high school, it's pretty much based off of your GPA. So if you got good grades, you don't got to be there as much. If you ain't doing too well, then you got to be there all the time. So
you need to take advantage of that network.
Yeah. So, you know, so it's just a bunch of students up in there, like 50, 60 students in your wave. And then it's other waves. They take you on field trips. We went on Black College Tour, LA College Tour. They take you on, different type of field trips, let you meet have different career days at the program where people in different backgrounds. They had a financial literacy program. Somebody came up in there and talked to us about banking when we was 18, getting ready to go to college. It was just like, this is what a credit card is. If you're going to do it this way, stuff like that. So pretty much it's a program at the time that was designed to help Black and brown youth come from this environment and succeed in, you know, the mainstream world. As a staff member, it was more so for me like, all of that is cool, but if I'm not able to deal with the trauma that I endure every day, it's gonna make it difficult for me to focus in school. I don't care nothing about 5 years from now when I'm, you know, dealing with eviction. I'm dealing with hunger. I'm dealing with all different types of things, and I felt that as a youth, and I didn't necessarily feel prepared for college. So when I was asked to come on and help with the youngsters, I was like, well, I like to write poetry, so if I can help them articulate themselves and help them with their emotional development, then hopefully it'll translate over to their academia. And for some of them it did, and for some of them it wasn't enough resources at that time. But so for me as a staff, my role was like on the flip side. We wasn't focusing on did you do your homework. It was like, how are you?
Yeah, did you eat?
Yeah, it was like stuff like that.
Do you have a safe place that you're gonna stay at least this week?
And it ain't no curriculum for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't no curriculum for that.
Those are the things that people kind of like don't think about until it's in their face.
Right.
And if you're not the kind of person to have that compassion, then you can train yourself to overlook those issues, and you go back to what they taught you in school as a teacher. This is what you need to teach them in class. But like you said, the children have to worry about what's going on internally and at home before they can focus on what you're asking me to do outside of home and all that stuff. So yeah, I get it. I'm about to jump around, y'all, because y'all know I got ADD, so let me be. Let's talk about this movie. Donte went and viewed his movie at San Quentin, y'all. My husband won't stop talking about it. We talk about it all the time. So I'm gonna let him tell you guys about the movie, and then you will go and how can they see the movie?
Right now, you can find it on the digital, the iTunes, the Amazons, and all of that. You can go in there, you can rent it, you can buy it, download it, things like that. So it's called Romeo Is Bleeding.
Okay, and when you had your question and answering session at San Quentin, what kind of things did you guys discuss?
That was so beautiful because just a backstory for me, like when I was about 17, 18, I used to watch TV show, I think it's called the History Channel, and they used to do a lot of documentaries behind bars or beyond locked up and things like that. So I used to watch a lot of prison documentaries, and I used to just look at the brothers up in there talking about what they did to get in there, whether innocent or not, whatever, just talking about what it's like to be up in there, what you have to do, and just the different talents that they have and what they would like to pursue once they get out. And I was just like, man, I wish I could do something or say something that encouraged them brothers to keep doing what they doing. And so I always dreamt of going to somewhere like that to speak, and didn't know if I could actually get up in there until I was like famous. So once I had the opportunity, a couple times I was scared to go, because I'm like, man, what am I gonna say to people who, you feel me, done been up in there and lived a certain type of life that I don't know nothing about. Some of it I do, but it's like, what can I tell these grown men? So when I had the opportunity to go, that particular time, it was beautiful, because it was like at least 150, 200 of the brothers that came out to see this movie. And the cold part about it was we was trying to show this documentary, and their technology wasn't working. So for like the first hour and a half, I had to stall them by just talking to them, and they wanted me to perform. So they like, we heard you do poetry, spit something. And then so I'm like, I spit my first piece, and then they clapping and cheering, and like, spit another one. So I'm performing, and then I'm just talking, and I'm answering questions. And that one was pretty much just talking about like, when you coming from the neighborhood, how a lot of the questions you get is like, what made you decide to go that way? With so many different obstacles and so many different like traps around you, it's easy to just fall into the temptation of the fast life. It's like, how did you maneuver through that? Because at the same time, a lot of them brothers is from Richmond. So it's like, we know what it's like before you was born, because we've been out here since the 50s, 60s, and the 80s. So it's like, how did you...
It's like, I probably know your daddy.
Exactly. And some of them did. Some of them came and was telling me stories about, like, man, your daddy, man, That's my, and I'm like, so I'm up in there with them. They telling me history and stories about Richmond and different sides and what needs to be done as far as like the young folks today. So it's like a lot of the questions was pretty much just like, what advice do you give to somebody who feel like giving up? How do you get your voice heard? Because they up in a particular situation where it's like, man, I'm innocent, but my lawyer not hearing me. Or I got, it's certain things we need to get done up in here, and ain't nobody up in here listening to us. Don't nobody write us no letters. Don't nobody care about me. Like, how do I get my voice heard? And it's like, dang, how do you encourage that brother to get his voice heard? And I just looked at myself and was like, man, I remember a time when I felt silenced and unheard. And I'm like, I'm gonna write this for me. And then when somebody asks me what you doing, I'm gonna share it to them. And if I can impress that person gonna tell somebody else. And then 3 people gonna come audience. And then once I get everybody in my classroom and be quiet and listen, now the teacher has to listen. Because the teacher wasn't listening at first. But if I get everybody in the classroom, Donte, now the teacher gotta shut up. Because the only way the class is gonna sit quiet is until Donte speaks. Exactly. And so then you get that. Then you get the classroom, and you get more classrooms. So I was applying that analogy to them. It's like, man, first you get with yourself. You feel me? Then you get your tier. And then you get with other organizations within the prison. And then from there, just kind of like you try to connect with other prisons and then, go from there. So,
yeah. That's a whole different monster. I know with my husband right now, especially with COVID, they keep them separated. So they say it's for their safety, but it's really because they don't want them to organize. And it's like even they have a men's auxiliary council, which are incarcerated persons. They're elected by the other people that are inside or whatever. But personal experience, my husband was running to be on the council, and he got written up because he was standing in the phone booth, which means you're no longer eligible. So they find ways to make the ones that they know are going to fight ineligible to get positions or where they can congregate with everybody and get the information from the different sides of the facility. So it ain't easy. I've been fighting with him. Well, I shouldn't say fighting with him. We've been fighting. I have him working with a program called Affiliates and Offenders. What they do is they send you out a packet, it has a script and everything, and they want you to like network. Get 3 or 4 other guys, and you guys work this. I don't want to call it, it's not a classroom, but it's something for them to build together and like come to a common understanding of what they did, what was wrong, whatever it was, and how you can now give back to your community. Like what you need to do to get yourself on point and what you can also do to help others in the meantime. So even that, my husband asked the warden, I want to say probably about a month or so ago, can I have time to meet with these couple other people for 30 minutes? So it's like now you have to choose between taking your shower and calling your family or participating in this program, which technically will look good on your paperwork. Yeah. But in that moment, I want to talk to my family. Right. It's like you want me to be building my resume so I can get out in 5 to 10 years. But right now, today, I want to talk to my family. I haven't seen them in 14 months. So the least I want to do is talk to them on the phone, Yeah. So we're not gonna talk too much about the prison, y'all. Not today.
No, but that's important for me to know, though.
It's very segregated, and it's not the guys segregating them; it's the staff.
Right.
It's just that simple. Like they don't even want them, even if you're the same color. If you're in a different building, you're still not supposed to associate. So it's not just racial. They just want to keep everybody segregated so they cannot organize. But. Like I tell my husband, tell them to have their family members, wives, moms, dads, cousins, sisters, partner from around the corner. Somebody can speak for them on the outside. They can join plenty of Facebook groups, whatever, and organizations. All of Us or None is a good one for those incarcerated who don't have family members that are actually interacting with them and writing with them. All of Us or None actually has a program where they can write them and they get handwritten letters back to them so they feel connected with society. Because everybody deserves to have their voice heard and nobody should be left. And like, okay, yeah, you committed a crime. Well, you got convicted of a crime. I'm not going to say you committed it. You got convicted of a crime. but that doesn't mean you should be thrown away, which is my personal opinions and beliefs, and not all my family agrees with me, but I love y'all still.
That's real.
So, Closed Caskets. No, before we get to Closed Caskets, tell us about your other books.
My other book, the first book I published before this one, is called No Freedom, K-N-O-W, Freedom. I published that 2018, close to 2019, like November. That one was like my first one, and I feel like that was the most important one to me at that time, because since I was 17 and I was in Making Waves, I didn't feel like I was going to graduate from high school. Then I was on time to graduate. I caught my credits up in independent studies. Then it was like, man, everybody in Making Waves planning to go to college. And I'm like, I don't want to go to college. And that kind of seemed like awkward and like taboo. Like, you spent 8 years in this program, you ain't going to college. And then so I'm like, man, I got to figure out what I got to do. So at 17, when I started writing poetry, I told myself, like, what I'm going to do is, somebody told me, like, you could self-publish your own books. It's a program online where you can do that, just da-da-da-da, and you can sell your own books. So I'm like, all right, I got to write enough poems so when I sell my own books, you feel me, I'm just going to start with Making Waves. Like, I know everybody in Making Waves is going to buy my book off the rip just because it's like, I know at least 100 of y'all.
Build your network from starting your inner circle and branch out.
So that's what my plan was. And then at the time, I didn't feel like my poetry was strong enough. So I was afraid when it was time to actually get to doing it. I was afraid. And so I was like, I got to get stronger. So then over the years, I just been writing until I felt like it was strong enough to put it in a book, which really, it was just like, it was fear, because I was trying to get the validation of an audience. I'm like, if I can go on stage and perform in front of an audience, if I know they like what they hear, then they'll like what they read. Until I took a writing workshop 2012, and it's this famous writer named Patricia Smith. It's a sister. She's beautiful, do beautiful work. And she was like, your writing is not as compelling as the way you speak it. And it's like, it sounds, when you say it, she like, it's mesmerizing. I can't stop looking at you.
She ain't lying.
She said, but when I'm reading it, I don't have the same conviction. The words don't convey the same message as when you speak it. So you have to develop a way to not just write for the stage, you have to write for the page. And so No Freedom was kind of like, all of that to say, No Freedom was an opportunity for me to just get over that fear of if it's good or not for the page, and just put it out there. Because I learned, like, you only gonna get better at doing something the more you distribute it. You ain't gonna get better at playing basketball. You can study everybody shooting shots, but until you get out there and practice spreading your fingers and snapping and your two-step and dribbling, and you gotta practice bricking before you can actually get them straight threes. So No Freedom was just kind of like, I want to know what that freedom is, to just express myself and put it out there. And at the same time, it's talking about the 5 stages of grief that we go through when we experience traumatic situations. In the first chapter, it talks about myself, like what I was going through. The second chapter mostly focused on what I see in my community. And like, dang, so now I'm speaking from their perspective. Mm-hmm. Then the third chapter is like, where did this all happen? So it goes into the history of what we went through, slavery and political racism and etc. And then the fourth chapter is like the angry political side of me, like, nah, we gotta do something. And then the fifth chapter is like, but you can't help nobody until you help yourself. So it's like, it started off with me, and then it goes back to me on the fifth chapter, and then that leads into Closed Caskets.
I need that one.
For sure, I got you. For sure. For sure.
Yeah, I don't have that one, y'all. I'm ashamed to say it. Now, I am going to say I totally agree with her assessment, because I love watching you speak. I do. With my baby, look, my extra baby, I brought his book. It's my extra baby.
Yeah.
It's TJ's book. Donte and TJ work together sometimes. And look, I brought my baby book too. Y'all know I was gonna bring her back.
Yeah.
These 3 together, I'm telling y'all, they could sell out the Richmond Auditorium right now.
Right now. Facts, that's facts.
Right now. And then, who knows who else they would bring, okay?
Oh, yeah, we got a squad.
We just gotta figure out how we can make these things happen, because the words that they are speaking come from the heart, and it's so motivational and inspirational to see that the younger generation, because I can't call y'all kids no more because I got a grandbaby. He's a kid now. So, but
youths.
Yeah, you know, you guys are a little bit younger, but but it's just everything that you guys are doing and how you guys have turned, like you said, all of the obstacles into motivation and positivity and doing things in spite of, which the resilience that you guys are showing is just amazing. I know Professor Hoslaw is like, I did that. So.
Yeah. I ain't talked to Hoslaw in a minute neither, man. I gotta holler at him.
He planted the seed because, I had to shoot. I think my sister was in the 2nd or 3rd wave, then Sierra was in the 9th wave, and Kira was in the 13th wave.
Yeah.
So I can say it. Lord, them Saturdays was punishment for me too.
Yeah.
It was necessary.
Yeah.
Because you have to be there for your children. You can't expect other people to get up and get out of bed every day of the week to support your kids if you don't want to get up and get out to bed to support your kid. But yeah, it was plenty of times where I'd be like, oh Lord, it's a Saturday parent meeting. I have a conversation with a few people in my family, like, they'd be like, well, you want to go to breakfast Saturday? No. I am being a parent on Saturday as if I didn't parent the rest of the week. But yeah, making waves, are they still in San Francisco too?
I don't even know. I don't know much about San Francisco making waves.
Me either. You guys look them up. They're a wonderful program. They used to do a lot more than what they're doing now, but it's still a nice program to be affiliated with because, now they're cutting back the budgeting.
Yeah, they got the charter school up there. I don't know what they're doing up there.
Yeah, that funding is crazy up there. But, they got a nice track team. Shout out Coach Dan. I got a couple of my babies. My play grandbaby Leah graduated from Making Waves.
Oh yeah. So, I worked with her too.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, it's all in the family. So I commend their effort in this community because before that program, they might have had a GATE program or something that you did after school in your individual schools if you had the school that would have those kind of programs. But for the most part, it was like you go to regular school and hope you make it.
Right. So, man. That's how it is for us.
And for us, because other nationalities have their own schools after school. People of Asian descent, when they get out to your regular school, they going to school for another 3 hours.
Another, and helping with the family business.
That too. But they have the college tutors that are in the family, the cousins or whoever, and they make sure that they get their kids in the programs that provide these services. I don't know how they find the time because it ain't easy. Like you said, that interview process and them having to write an essay to get into Making Waves, and now you got to convince this kid who really don't want to go.
That was how I was. I was like, I didn't really know what college was for real until like 10th, 11th grade. I'm like, man, I've been in this program all this time, and I can't even conceive exactly what it is until I did go for a couple of semesters at Laney and Berkeley City. I went for a couple of semesters. And it was, I feel like it was definitely beneficial for the classes that I took and the profession that I ended up doing anyways that I already knew I was going to do. So, yeah.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the Rise Center. I love the Rise Center. They're still groundbreaking the new building or building the new building from what I hear, so I don't know what they're doing right now. I know Sierra and TJ are still networking with the children via Zoom and all that stuff. What kind of programs do you know about at the Rise Center?
At this moment, I don't even remember what they're doing at this moment. But when I was there, they had I forgot the names of them, but they had homework help. I know for sure they had that where you can go get a college career counseling, kind of like a smaller version of a Making Waves. You go up in there. You have people up in there that help you with your homework, help you find scholarships, help you with college applications, etc. So if you wanted to do that, college career, you went up over there. They had the Justice program, where I think TJ mostly did a lot of his work, is helping with young folks as re-entry coming back home. getting they hours knocked out as far as probation, things like that. Helping them just find the services that they need. They have counseling, so they had counselors on site where young folks who need to talk, they just go up in there, book a session, and have somebody to talk to, help them decipher what's going on in their mind and their life, and then provide them tools with that. So you got college career, you got the youth justice program, you got counseling. They had Tasty Tuesdays, which pretty much we had a garden in the back where someone was maintaining the garden, the young folks help with the garden, and then they'd come and pick certain foods from the garden, and that would be like a specialty into whatever food that they was making for that day.
Oh, nice.
So young folks was learning how to garden and how to take stuff from the garden and then make a food dish and then do that. I worked in a media arts culture program where it's called the MAC, where we did video, music, playwright, poetry, performance. So those who wanted to write poems, you came to me or Molly. Those who wanted to write, be in a play, you came to me or Molly.
Shout out to Molly.
Those who wanted to do music, you came to me, and it had so many different coordinators at the time, but you came to me and Naya. I think Naya's holding down still like the MAC department as far as like the media arts culture up over there. To some degree, I could be wrong. Don't get mad at me, but I know she holding down. So CC, Naya, and TJ, the Raw Talent fam, they still up over there holding down. So yeah, it's some other programs that they had up in there too. But you know, it's sometimes programs come and go with whoever is working there. So somebody may be really good at doing this, and they no longer work there, so they don't really have that program no more. So
yeah, you got to work with your passion.
yeah.
And unfortunately, you might take that passion with you when you get your new job. Yeah, my friends at my last job, they like, we ain't gonna have no parties. Because they know that was me. I'd be like, look, we haven't had any unit meeting parties in a while, and I need it in my life. My boss used to be mad because I was just like, oh yeah, I sent out the email and let everybody know we're having a potluck on such and such day. Put it on your calendar.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you need that because you could get caught up in the monotonous of just coming in there, sending emails. Hey, you check your emails? Like, man, I don't want to, like, hey, how you doing?
You have to.
Yeah, you got to tap in with your folks, because how we going to protect each other on the front lines and protect these kids if we ain't in tune with each other? I don't even like you like that.
And then, like, at most jobs, you're spending more time with those people than you are with your actual family when you go home. Right. So you have to build those connections in a rapport. You don't necessarily got to like everybody. But
if I'm here with you 8 to 12 hours a day, man, we finna...
Yeah, we gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
We might be funking cousins, but we gonna be family still.
Yeah, that's how it be.
That's how you have to work things out. So, what do you see on the horizon for yourself?
I think most importantly, once I get over the fear of stepping into my power fully, I think whatever it is, I want to say yes to everything. I want to start saying yes. A partner of mine, he asked me the other day, like, man, would you ever go bungee jumping? I said, yeah. I don't know when, but yeah. He said, would you ever jump out of a plane? I said, yeah. I don't know when, but yeah. I'm like, a few months ago, I would have told you hell no. But I wanna get that out of my...
It's a possibility.
Yeah, it's like, boom, yeah. I wanna, so on the horizons, whatever come up, I wanna say yeah. Right now, in the immediate, I'm thinking about writing more plays. I have like at least 10 stories that I wanna write. Some of them is just already filled out in my mind. It's just taking the time to write it out and file it out in a way that I feel like this is better than my last one. Definitely music. Music was always my first passion before I started doing poetry, before plays, before acting, before directing, before even teaching kids how to do anything. It's like music. So.
Well, I know if you put this on Audible, everybody named Mama, they get to listen to you say it. It's a wrap.
See, I've been thinking about, I gotta do it. That's another one of those, like, I know I could do it, but it's just taking the time to actually do it.
If you do that, mark my word. I said it first, y'all.
See, I gotta actually do it. Because it's like some of these words, I'll be like, man, I know they ain't gonna really read it how I'm saying it, how I would say that.
And that's why you gotta be on Audible spitting it yourself, and we can just turn it on and be immense in all that greatness. That's all you need. Because, well, for me, I would prefer to hear you reading it.
Right.
My cousin is the opposite. She like, I like to put my own sounds to the characters in books and this and that. I'm like, no. I want the person who wrote it to tell me their vision, and then if I want to make my own interpretation, that's fine.
I think because we come from an oral tradition anyway. It's just like
Yes.
we campfire folk. We grandmama at the head of the couch, and we sitting on the carpet folk. I want to hear grandma tell the story. We all know the story, but I want to hear Pawpaw tell the same. I want to hear them tell the story. So that makes sense as far as like I could read it, and what I'm reading is deep, but I want to hear you say it because it's something about how you don't say story, you say stove.
Yeah,
you know,
you felt that.
Yeah.
You know?
When you said the corner stove, when you know what I mean? When certain people say, like my pops, he don't say garbage, he say garbage. And it's like, if you ain't gonna get that on the page as much as when you hear this person say it. So I feel you.
That audible... you about to take over. They about to shut the rest of the books down. They're like, we don't need you to read me none of that other crap. No, Kevin Hart, we're done with you.
I'm gonna have to do it. I'm gonna have to tap into one.
I'm telling you that if we could just listen to you, that would be amazing. Because it is different when I read it. Even with my favorites. But I know if you was to read some of my favorites to me, the next time I read them, I would hear your voice instead of mine.
Which one is your favorite?
I can say one of my favorite. Y'all see my book is personalized autographs. Thought y'all knew. But I like this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Very orange.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, close.
Close. Yeah, that one.
Let me see. I think.
Prophecy.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, it was too many. I had to. Oh, that's what it was.
Oh, Queen. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah.
Yes. That one right there. Mr. Clark was writing about me. He didn't even know it, y'all.
Yeah.
But yes, to be able to hear it coming from you is more powerful. I appreciate the book. I love the book. And, like, as you can see, I have ones that I go to in different moments. When people irritate me, sometimes I need to take a step back and read. I'm in training at a new job. Anyway, sometimes I need this kind of motivation.
Yeah.
So I appreciate your work and everything that you've put into this. And if I can get it on Audible, I'm going to make all my friends buy it on their Audible accounts too.
Okay, I'm gonna have to do that. Somebody just, Brother Malcolm Marshall from Richmond Post. Yeah, he had told me the same thing like a week ago. It was like, you think about doing like recording some of your pieces? I said I thought about it. He was like, and he just gave like that. Like
I know my brothers at the Dart Network could help you out with that if you was ready to get in on that. I'm just putting it out there for you.
Okay, for sure.
Because the spoken word is everything. I went to a video shoot for Brother Minister King X. He's rapping. He's formerly incarcerated, so he's trying to give back and help some of the brothers that he left inside. And they had a lady there, and I'm horrible, I forget her name, but she came and she gave a history of our people, and it was just beautiful. Even though it was a small group of us, less than 20, but it's just like we're here to build community, and we're getting our history, and we're learning to love ourselves and each other. And it was just so beautiful. And it's like, why don't we do this kind of stuff more often? How come our people haven't learned how to just get together and network and build and show love? Now, side note, the lake was popping. So they doing something over there. People showing something out there. Like, but for the emotional, that for me leads to healing the trauma.
Right.
Those kind of networking and sessions where people are having honest conversations and being able to get things off our chest and honoring our elders you know, and nurturing the babies, because we had some very littles and we had some seniors, right. You know, so it was a beautiful thing. So I'm just wondering what it is you think as a community we need to do so we can start having things like that more often in Richmond, Bay Area, California, whatever.
I think it has to just be some passionate individuals that just collectively come together consistently, like, and just keep inviting people. Just every time one person come, just encourage them to come back, and then the next time they come, bring somebody else. And to just set it up like that. I feel like whoever's facilitating has to provide the space to really, like, when we talking about us coming together, we talking about like generations of hurt that really is the hardest part. It's getting people there and then not being offended by the hurt that you are going to meet first before you get a chance to meet the
Before
real,
you get to the healing.
Yeah. So when you invite people to certain conversations and you want them to talk about something, it's like we got to make sure we provide the time and the space and the resources and the follow-up for when I come to this meeting and I express myself, is you going to be there tomorrow? Is we going to do this again, or is it just a one-time, 1 hour little thing? Because sometimes it take people longer than an hour to get warmed up. It's like, no, I'm coming. It's going to take me a while to get warmed up. And it's going to take me being familiar. And so it's just like, just doing something consistently. I feel like it can eventually
I'm like that
happen.
in a new group. I'm gonna sit in the back and watch and see what everybody else doing and who say what and things like I'm
And we got to, as facilitators, we got to know that. This is what I tell teachers, right? Just because I came to your classroom 30 minutes late, I understand that you prepared a lesson. I understand that I'm supposed to be here at 8 o'clock and I didn't get here until 8:45. Bell finna ring in 6 minutes. I missed all of the lesson, right? But I still came. And you don't know what those 6 minutes could have been for me that could have saved my life. I could have been cutting class, right? And they was finna go do something crazy, and I said, I'm going to class. And that 6 minutes could have saved my life. So just because I ain't come prepared, I didn't come and share, I didn't come and participate, I'm here. So how can we provide a space where if a person is only there for 6 minutes, they feel like they have somewhere to be the next time? So I think it's something like that. So when you say like you got to get warmed up, that's sometimes how we are. I need to come and fill this out. Or I may come to this late. I may come tired. I may come and just want to lay my head down. But the fact that I came shows you that I'm warming up to the space. And eventually, not only am I going to open up, I'm probably going to bring at least like 100 more people just based off of, you know.
If I feel safe in this space.
Feel safe. I may come to the meeting and don't say nothing, but brought 15 other people. Telling people, like, man, I've been going to this meeting, I think you should come. I've been going to this meeting, I think you should come. And next you know, you got a whole organization based off this person who ain't never said nothing until like the 37 meeting. Now they finally, you know what I mean? So you just gotta, I think consistency and just really loving on our people in a way that makes people want to come and want to participate, whether they speak or not speak. And I think when you around people that's healing, you naturally it's gonna fall up on you. You can't just be around a bunch of people in a meeting talking about healing and having breakthroughs and you just still, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Something's gonna cut through.
Yeah,
even if it takes you longer, it's you get there. I get that. So,
family, it's your girl, Revolutionary Rika. Please tune in the last day of every month for Revolutionary Rika Speaks at 6 p.m. If you miss it on my page on YouTube, Revolutionary Rika Speaks, check it out on the Dark Network, 247.com. I can't wait to see you. Come get this game.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Vernon Lane.
Yeah, it is Ada Adewale.
And y'all tuning in to The Agenda, your #1 new and upcoming source for Black information and Black excellence.
Yeah.
Man, we got a new episode that just posted. Make sure y'all click the link in the description. Check out our new episode and all our latest information hosted exclusively by the Dark Network. Yay!
that sounds like something we need to do. Welcome to the Dark Network, if you didn't know.
What's up?
Our community as a resource, we take in everybody who wants to be a part of the solution. So, yes, not that I run anything at the Dark Network, y'all, but my brothers know I only bring love with me, so that's how it works. And we don't hunt you down. Like we only want you to give what you're willing to give, and we have things that we're willing to share as well. It's a win-win scenario. We don't do win-lose scenarios around here. Everybody around here we build together. It's a progressive thing that we do together. On different aspects, and everybody has their own little niche, I should say. So, yeah. I guess I should point that out while we're talking about this. Make sure you check out all the podcasts on the Dark Network. Subscribe to the Dark Network. Make sure you watch every episode of Melanated Harmony 10 times. Tell all your friends to watch Melanated Harmony 10 times.
Yeah.
Those of you who are artists, contact us. We would love for you to come on the show. We want to showcase some of your art, music, poetry, combination. Let us know what you can do. How can we help you, and how can you help us? That's how this works. So, what else would you like to talk about today?
Whatever. Man, I don't know. What's been on my mind? Yeah, whatever. Anything you want to ask me? Anything.
Okay, let me see. No, I don't want to get too personal, y'all. So,
anything.
Are you still working with the youth right now currently?
Yes and no. It's kind of like I'm not in a particular position to where it's like I'm every day with a group of young people, but occasionally certain schools will reach out to me and be like, hey, can you come and speak to this classroom, or can you help with, we doing a theater piece and it's going to be a 6 weeks course. Can you come
That
as much
is
as
famous.
you can?
I don't know what you're talking about. They reaching out to you, requesting. Ain't no school ever asked me to come unless I was coming to pick up one of my bad kids.
Nah, I think it's one of those, when you put yourself out there and tell people this is what I do, somebody gonna reach out. Even if you like feel like somebody gonna reach out, you know. So that's what I've learned. It's like when you tell people like I'm a poet and I just want to help kids learn how to write, then you just never know who will eventually just I heard about this person. I want to see if he'd be interested in, doing creative writing with preschoolers. And then it just be like, you get that type of phone call or email, and then once you say yeah, and once you do it and it's successful, then they gonna tell other preschooler teachers like, hey, I just had this, Snack, can you come to mine? And next you know, you got a contract with a district to come to all of the different preschools just because someone asked you that question and you just said yeah. I ain't never did it before, but yeah, I love it.
I tried.
Yeah, I tried. And that's pretty much my whole, just me saying, when it come to this, just saying yeah.
I love it.
So I don't feel like I'm famous. I just be feeling like when opportunities come, most of the times I say yeah, and I feel like if I do a good enough job, they gonna ask me to come back, and they gonna tell somebody else. So yeah, so that's mostly what I've been doing is somebody reach out, then I come through.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, look, you being all flexible and helping, working for the people and stuff. And 31?
31.
And been helping others since you...
18.
Probably before then, because in Making Waves, even before 18, you start helping the younger ones a little bit.
Yeah, I was. When I was like senior in high school, when I was first asked, can you go talk to the student? His name Demaria Young. I gotta say his name, Demaria Young, my little brother.
Shout out, D.
Yeah, he was the first young person that I was asked by a lead tutor at Make Waves, like, can you go talk to him? Can you go work with him? And I was just graduating high school, or I was in my 11th grade or something like that. I think I was finna graduate high school, and so he kind of like inspired me to come back to Making Waves to work with the young folks, because in that senior year I was just talking to him, just like loose conversations. Unfortunately, he had passed away. He was killed 2013.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, but so that also inspired me to to work with as many youngsters as I can. Sometimes I say yeah, and I can't really be there as much as I want to, and other times it's like I try to overdo it. You know, so yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't burn yourself out. You gotta take care of yourself first. Even though it's hard, I know it's hard sometimes.
I've been learning that, and that's what inspired me writing No Freedom and Closed Caskets. Really, it's just like Closed Caskets is pretty much just talking about. In order to move forward, you gotta embrace the pain and the trauma. You have to look back on your life and be like, okay, where have I been wrong? Dang, I need to apologize. When have I been wronged? And what about that am I still holding on to? Okay, what can I learn from that situation? What can I laugh about that situation? And what can I just be like, you know what, that's not real. That was a time that happened. It's not present. It has nothing to do with today. And just how do you move forward? And so that's what Closed Caskets is about. And it's realizing like all of them years I've been prioritizing how can I show up for other people. And now not being at a full-time job and just being an independent artist and just being to myself, I don't have to spend all of that time on other people, so it became more difficult.
Oh Lord, it must be nice
to just be there for yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, I don't know what you mean. No,
you don't.
No, I log in before 8 o'clock every day, and I'm logged in till 5 o'clock every day. But I would love to have that freedom and to be able to live my passion. I do it. I just do that after working on the weekends and on my lunch break. I've been getting it in on my lunch break.
That's good though.
Let me tell you.
Pay off.
Let me tell you. I only brought one today. This is our current giveaway. This is what we give our low income, no income, and people suffering. This is what we giving away now while supplies last. You got the soap and the toothpaste, toothbrush, and all the stuff. And let me tell y'all, these blankets. I cleared the warehouse. Y'all can't order them. It took them almost 2-3 weeks to come from Ohio. But I was like, these are good blankets.
Say plush.
Exactly. So this is what we are giving away now to help those who are less fortunate. I want to thank everybody who donated. We've been doing pretty good on this last fundraiser, y'all. Shout out to the fam. Because we know it's not easy. Who have I been working with? Parchester Village Neighborhood Community Council. Please forgive me if I got the name wrong because I don't have my phone open to it. They gave us a donation, and they're going to partner with us here at the Dart Network in Oak because I'll be throwing their name around. So they want to partner with us to make more of the toiletry kits, and they also want to help us adopt some families of incarcerated persons and send children's gifts to their, because the prison has a program or whatever at Christmas time, not last Christmas because it's COVID, but in prior years, if you brought a kid to visit during Christmas time, they'll give them a gift. But what about those children whose fathers, I'm gonna say the fathers for now, I know it goes both ways because we got women in prison, but they got an angry baby mama that ain't coming to visit, so that mean that kid doesn't deserve a gift? That's bullshit. So what our program is going to do is reach out directly to the guys, and they'll give us their information, and we can send the gifts directly to the children. And it is not going to cost them or their exes anything other than we need a valid address right. to send this gift to these children. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be our newest program. We just started talking about it last week, so I'm looking forward to that. I presented it to our inmate family council, so we're going to vote on it, but I think they're going to jump on board where we can all try and help some of these babies because they keep locking their daddies away. And mamas too, sorry y'all. But, it's a lot of black and brown that are been locked away and people trying to throw away the key. So we want to let them know that there are people out here that are still trying to help the families. It's not the kid's fault. I don't care what their daddy did. They wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why punish these children? I'm gonna bring that for another episode. I had a group of poems that were written by children of incarcerated persons. And yeah, I was crying, so I don't carry it around with me too much because it's deep, because it's like they feel like they did something. You know, and then, you know, those special, it's a little easier for the ones where, you know, both parents are still able to co-parent regardless if they're in the relationship or not. But when, you know, the ones who just are outright spiteful, petty, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. I don't know what happened in your relationship, because you might have a valid reason for not talking to that person.
Right.
But the child shouldn't have to suffer.
Shouldn't have to come into
especially when there's a third entity that's going to foot the bill. Like, like I don't know too many people who'll be like, no, my kid can't have a gift. You know? So that's our newest program that we're working on. We're still working on, you know, the toiletry kits for everybody. 'Cause, yeah, I keep them in the car. My trunk is full. Yeah, I used to have an 8-seater. Now it's 5. Seriously, like, I've been, because I'm blessed with wonderful family and friends. Like, I have adult clothes, women and men's, shoes, and probably 30 of the, well, no, maybe like 20 of those blanket kits in the trunk of my car right now. So when I'm getting off freeways, I'm like, here you go, sir. Like,
yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, you gotta do it like that.
Like, no questions asked. Like, you're part of a church? Nope. I'm a part of your community. Here you go. Like, that's it. That's all. And I have a lot of people saying, like, you know, you need to be putting your logo in the bag. It's not about that.
Yeah.
They don't need to know who gave them that bar of
logo.
soap. Is that really going to matter to them in that moment? No, I'm going to put this mask on and I'm going to go. I'm going to eat these pretzels or whatever in this granola bar. And I'm going to say thank you and keep it pushing. I don't really need to know this agency. It's not like we have a sign-up list where I'm going to keep coming back and finding them.
Yeah.
So it's the luck of the draw. I have a couple friends. Shout out to Sonia and Raven, who have been taking them. They take kits in their cars and pass them out as they can when they need it.
I'll pass some out too.
Yes, I'll definitely. They in the car. I'm telling you, they're ready.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll take a couple of them.
okay, so that's what we've been doing. I'm going to. Oh, sorry, plastic, y'all. Remind everybody, go pick up closed caskets and anything else you see with Donté Clark's name on it. And I want my other book.
I got you.
I want you to also check out my son, TJ's book, Section 8.
Section 8. Baby.
Yes. This one, this is my little cousin. This is Promise's book.
Okay.
She Goes to Grambling, self-published. This is her first book, $10 on Amazon. We've never actually met, but we're blood relatives. Yeah. McCree's all day. Then, of course, you know, my baby.
Unto Ivy's rib.
Yes. Make sure y'all check out my baby. Make sure you subscribe to the Dark Network. Make sure if you see we're posting that Mr. Clark is going to be somewhere, if I was you, I would get the ticket as soon as you see it, because anything he do going to sell out.
Man, it's going to be big, too.
Unless it's virtual and they, like, you know, can only hold 5,000 people or something. But if it's Richmond Auditorium, if you see it, come up. I suggest you run on down there. We're going to be inviting Mr. Clark back, of course, possibly for Black History. We're going to see what we can work out for June 19th. I think it's June 19th. Yeah, we're going to see if we can work that out. We want to thank you for coming by.
For sure.
You will be back again. But that's not how you're supposed to ask people to come back, y'all. That's the mother in me.
Yeah, it's all good.
No, I'm almost 50. No.
Yeah, you can follow me at Don Black, DonBlak on Instagram, Donté Clark on Facebook, Donté Clark at Don Black on YouTube. You can find Closed Caskets at 4113 McDonald Avenue, Naturally Herbs. You can find it on Amazon, or you can hit my email or Instagram to get a copy. Yeah, and I'll see y'all soon. When you see me, holler.
And watch the movie.
Yeah, Romeo Is Bleeding. You can find that on Amazon, iTunes, Google Play, and all of that other fine fancy stuff.
Okay? Look what these Richmond folks can do.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us on Melanated Harmony.
I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. Like being born black, bearing blues by brothers buried beneath bridges. Burn bodies belittled before becoming better. Beyond broken, but believing. Because brotherhood build beautiful bonds, bypassing bullies, brute, Billy Bats, beating blacks back, bone breaking, burdened by balancing books, bullets, bricks, bearing blocks blown by bombs, billowing blues, Billy Blue before back bust. Boy, cotton brung benefits be barely breathing. Between blitz, brought by Babylonians, Baphomets, biopics be blackberries bent below bulky branches. Bruh, life, come on, sings me sweet songs. I would love to dance, but I'm afraid of my feet. Nah, scratch that. Life is a sweet song, so each move's a dance to loose them bands from my feet.